In this episode of the IT Experts podcast, I'm going to share with you why it's important to understand, create, and share with your team your company values. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the IT Experts podcast, the only podcast to help ambitious IT and tech business owners increase their sales, profit, and productivity. Hi there, my name is Ian Luckett, and today's IT Experts podcast is all going to be around company values. Now, it's really important these days that we understand our company values and we define them. And in this show, I'm going to share with you the steps that I take with my clients to help them understand how to create their company values, why they're important, and what they can actually help you do in terms of scaling your IT MSP and tech business. Now, I guess, years ago, no one really kind of talked about company values. But as we develop through the latter years, what people are really starting to understanding, it's not B2B, it's not B2C, it's H2H. And today I've set up the podcast recording in the office today so I can share with you my company values, which are on the wall. And it's really important for me that people understand what my company values are, because this is kind of how I behave. So when we talk about the H2H communication, we talk about the H2H, the human to human interaction. People buy from people. And that's kind of it, really, at the end of the day, in terms of how to connect, how to nurture people. We did a podcast previously on LinkedIn on how to generate more business from LinkedIn. And one of the things I kept talking about was LinkedIn is like your own private networking room with your own target market in it. So, we've all been to networking events when we've been there and there've been lots of different types of businesses in the room, and you've gone around the room and then walked away and said it's either been a great event or it hasn't. But while we're networking online, in particular in these interesting times around kind of this COVID pandemic, it's really important that we understand and we get to kind of the quick relationships that we know where we can help other people out. We can build that rapport. And in the podcast, I talked about your own target market. You've got a whole room of your own target market in that networking room, which is effectively LinkedIn. What are you going to talk to them about? What are you going to share with them? How are you going to let them know how you're going to work? And one of the key things that comes out with this is about the values. And if people are going to see that there's a guy there who's trying to help you grow your IT and your tech business by giving you all sorts of tips and tricks, help and advice, then that's going to be something that's going to resonate with you if you're in that space to take your business to the next level. I really do, quite often refer back to a saying that Jim Rohn said, if you help enough other people get what they want, then you will get what you want. And that's kind of one of my real big philosophies, because if I connect with the right people, we're going to get on fine. We're going to help each other out. I think that's really key about creating your own values and identifying what they are, is that you can then create your own company culture, or you then develop your own company culture. If you look at different types of cultures that you've got around the world, and particularly like in organizations, if you look at Apple, Steve Jobs, he used to stand on stage with a pair of jeans and his t-shirt and tell everyone about the brand new phone. You go into his stores and that's how people behave. They're casually dressed, but they want to help you out and they want to fix the problem for you. And it's kind of nothing's really ever too much trouble. It's the same with like kind of Marks and Spencers and Waitrose and John Lewis. What types of culture do they have? But they hold their values really close to their chest. So before we get any further on, let's just share with you kind of my company values and why these are important to me. And it'll give you a little bit of context for the show then. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. If you're only on audio, you won't have a clue because you can't see what I'm doing. But I'm pointing behind me now in the wall on the office. And, the first value we've got is that we are open, honest, and real. And what that kind of means is that, every now and then some of my clients are going to get a bit of tough love. I'm going to give them a bit of telling off, and we're going to have a short little word about things that they're either doing that they said that they shouldn't be doing, or they're not focusing on, and helping them kind of with their growth plans. And this particularly happens quite often in the mastermind group. Next one is we innovate through continuous improvement. Look, we're in tech. I'm in tech growth support. At the end of the day, if I don't innovate and I don't help people to understand, where I'm changing, where I'm growing, where I'm developing my business, which is pretty much on a weekly basis, how am I ever going to stay ahead of my competition? How am I ever going to help more people? And how am I ever going to grow the business that I want to, run and create and love and enjoy doing? So constantly we are improving. We mentor from experience. This is a really key one for me. Everything that I teach people is what I've learned. I've got the battle scars from commercial days gone by, business development, opportunities that have gone very wrong, when I was in corporate, and everything that I teach people is stuff that I've learned, it's stuff that I know, whether it be around leadership, sales, marketing, business performance, finance, commercial, KPIs, those sorts of things, and I haven't just done a webinar. I haven't just all of a sudden jumped on a franchise, a training course, and I'm now a business coach. This is through 20 bloody years of hard work of learning all the different things in business, and I think it's probably, we mentor through experience is probably one of my really my favorite titles, which is why it's got my favorite green color on it. Driven to get results. Look, you can tell by my energy, you can tell by the way that I work with other podcasts or videos or anything else out there. I just want my clients to succeed. It's kind of the end of the day, really. So I'm absolutely driven. I'm passionate in what I'm doing, what I do. And someone said to me once, what would you do if you got up and you didn't have there was no need for any money? And I just said, I help people out. And isn't that funny that all these years later that I'm kind of helping people out and obviously, looking to help them grow their businesses. And then we're professional yet straight talking. So we've got systems and processes. We know how we're going to help our clients get their results. We are getting them their great results, and they're learning, building confidence, understanding and developing themselves on what they're doing. We're professional about it. I like to think that we do things at a very, very high quality, but we're straight talking. Sometimes we are just going to punch you on the end of the nose, metaphorically speaking, and kind of give you a bit of, as I say, kind of go back to a bit of the tough love one. But so these are the values that are really important. They kind of really hit me the other day when we put them up on the wall. It was a couple of months ago now when we moved into this new office. That when people come in here, they see it. When people are on video, they see the values. They see what it's all about. And in actual fact, I was working with a client in Australia the other day, and he said to me, your values match our values. I know we're just going to get on just fine. And we've been doing some great work with them and understanding how their business works. And it's just literally, it's almost got that instant connection. So it's really important that we understand what these values are. Now, once you've got them and once you've identified them, you can share them with your technical team. And rather than just having software developers and tech support people, you can help them to understand why they're part of the bigger course. Now, I've just done a recording a little while ago on business strategy, kind of 5 steps, fundamentals, 101 business strategy. Go and listen to that, and that will tell you a little bit more about how we can use these values to create, a great vision and a great way to help your people perform in your business. Let's cut to the chase. Let's kind of go through the fundamentals here and what we need to do. So, step 1, we need to create around between 3 and 7 core values. I've got 5 here. And it's really important, by the way, the one behind is just the innovative success model. If you're on YouTube, again, you'll know what I'm on about. If you're not, you won't have a clue. But we've got a set of 6 photos and there's only 5 values. And the one in the middle is the model. Just in case you were wondering what that other one was. And what we want to do is we want to create some sayings or some comments and some words around what people would say about us if we weren't in the room. So I'll refer to mine, which is why I mentioned it earlier on. Do you know what? He's open, honest, and real. He mentors from experience. He's constantly innovating. He's professional, but he will talk to you a little bit straight. And those are the types of things that we need to come out. So if you're an IT support company, it could be that you're working in a particular sector and that you will always kind of go over and above to solve the needs. Great customer service, understanding, going to the nth degree to solve solutions. All these kind of words. It's what we're going to run through today is kind of some of the high level tactics on how to do this. It actually can be quite a difficult task to evaluate these. I'm more than happy to help out. If there's other content that you want around this, then just kind of let me know. But this kind of gives you the high level view. So these are quotes and sayings. You can sit down with your leadership team, and they can help understand what they are and what people would be saying about you and your company, if you weren't kind of in the room. But do you know what? You're never going to find your company values if you don't know your values yourself. So number 2 is understanding your own values. It's about understanding what makes you tick, what drives you, what are the things that makes you get up in the morning, what are the things that makes you help people, where do you spend your spare time, and all of these types of good things. So what you can also do is you can actually share this with your leadership team as well. So if you did this as an exercise with them, write down your values and what you think they are, write down kind of as many things as you possibly think that they can be. And then get other people to kind of quote and go, no, in actual fact, you're really helpful. No, you go to the nth degree, and have a little bit of an exercise where you're talking to other members of your leadership team. And then you can understand where you've got your own individual values and where you sit. If you've done any work around team building, you'll understand that a team is built up of different types of people. Whether you identify it through a disc profiling or whether you identify it through kind of Belbin's team building or anything like that, you'll understand that you'll always have somebody who'll have a high drive. You're going to have somebody who's going to be very analytical. You're going to have someone who's going to be quite creative. And this is where you get a good team, but this is where you get a nice mix of the values as well. So step 3, we know that we're going to create 3 to 7 values. We know what your values are. Step 3 is now, what are the company values? What does the company stand for? Go back to your vision and your mission statement. Understand what it is that you're trying to achieve, the greater good. What's the 3 to 5 year plan? How are you going to deliver it is your mission statement, and understanding that and building that kind of like culture within your leadership team. And then work out, what does the leadership team stand for? What are our values? What are the greatest values that we've got as a team? And try and work that out, flesh it out, whiteboard, flip chart, post-it notes, whatever you need to do. It's a great exercise. Should take you a couple of hours to do it, but just try and work out exactly what it is that people are saying about the leadership team in a positive manner, kind of when you're not there. So step 4, once you've got that, once you've got your leadership team values set out, then we now start to think about cloning employees. Now, it doesn't sound as quite painful as you could possibly imagine, but what I want you to think about here is, if you take 1 or 2 or maybe 3 of your model employees, visualize them, write their names down, do this exercise again with your leadership team, and work out what it is about them. What are the characteristics? How do they do business? How do they behave? How do they show up? Do they come in early? Do they stay late? Are they, articulate in their work? What are the things, the positive things that you want, out of this, or you like out of this particular employee? And if you cloned them, and all your employees were just like, they had the right characteristics and the values as this employee, then what would that do for your business? And pretty much world domination is kind of what we're looking for here. So again, have a conversation with your leadership team, look around cloning. What are they brilliant at? What are their behaviors? How do they behave? And kind of how do they help and support and mentor other people as well? And get a list around those values as well, and understand, make sure that they match up with the values I've identified a little earlier. And then step 5 is, now you've got a lot of detail, a lot of information around some of the values, the potential values that you've got in your organization. Select the ones that suit the business. Select the ones that are going to be most applicable to your clients. Would it be around security, innovation, forward thinking, reliability? It could be around anything around sustainability. It could be around working together, working as a group, whatever it might be. Those are just some of the examples that you've got, around the different values that you've got. Start matching them out. And then what you do is, if you start to say, we are this, we are, the next value, we do this, we do that. What it does is, it then starts to create that identity. It starts to create that culture within your organization, and work out exactly what it is that your company stands for. So the next step is to define those leadership values, define the company values, write them out, finalize them, workshop them with your team. Then what we do is, once we've agreed it, and once we stand back at the wall, put them all across the wall, stand back from the wall, and then say, is that us? Is that what we want people to think of us? Is that how it kind of works? Then the next step is to involve your team, is to involve the staff, and have a chat with the staff and say to them, look, guys, it could be a bit of resetting around after COVID, around some business change, something like that. You could be going, right, we are now going to be, moving forwards. This is now our trajectory. This is our 3-year plan. This is how we're going to achieve it. This is our 1-year plan. This is our vision statement. This is our mission statement. And these are the values. Now, what I want you guys to do now is, I want you to look at those values and say, is that us? Is that who we stand for? Is that what we believe in? Is that what our employees stand for? Is that what our clients really want from us? Then the next step is, once you've involved the staff and you've involved your team, the question to your staff and your team is, have we missed anything out? Not do you like it or what do you think of them? It's, have we missed anything out? You're the leadership team. Remember, you're driving this business forwards. Have you missed anything out? And just invite some comments from there. Then what I do is I put them up in draft format, whether it be in the kitchen, in the office, on the intranet, wherever it might be, and let them settle for 30 days. And every time you look at them or you'll walk past them, sort of think, is that us? Is that what we want to do? Is that the kind of organization that we are? How does that kind of represent us? And then when you've done that and you've gone through the 30 days and people have given you some feedback and you've involved, and this is all about employee engagement, remember, then you've involved them, get them on the wall, get them printed out, get the pictures printed out on the wall, get them put up so people can start to see that's us. The clients can start to see that's us. And the employees are saying, this is us, this is the leadership team, and this is how we're kind of working. The really great thing about values is it actually helps you have a difficult conversation and also a positive conversation with any of your staff, should they be over or underperforming. We don't normally worry about overperforming, but if someone's underperforming and maybe, for example, they're coming in late, or they're having lots of breaks, or they're just not doing their work to a good quality, what you can ask them or what you can say to them is, look, we sat down X months ago, we had a conversation around your work, and it just isn't lining up with one of our values, around driven to get results, for example. It's kind of not working, is it? So we've all agreed these are our values, demonstrate to me where you've used the values or where you've lived the values. Or you could say to that employee, the way that you're behaving right now doesn't live to our company values because it doesn't align with what we've got. From a positive point of view, what you can do is that when you come to either monthly, quarterly or yearly reviews, you can say to employees, where do you think that you've lived the values? Which value do you value the most? And which value have you performed your role to a highest level all about? The last company I worked for, we had a Living Your Values award. It was a whole evening of going around and demonstrating to people where people have gone over and above, either technically from a customer service point of view, from a dedication point of view, whatever it might be, they've gone over and above and they've demonstrated the company values. So you can then use it to start of an expectation exchange and a conversation around your leadership team and also around the staff to build that company culture. So that's pretty much it from me today. Go back and listen to this podcast again. Go back and listen to the other podcasts we've got around leadership and also around the strategy, and understand how values are really important. And once you've got them and you can bring them to the forefront, slap them on your website, put them on the wall, tell everybody what it's all about, help develop and grow your teams through using the values, the identification of your values. And you'll also be seen as a much more credible player in your marketplace as well. So if you need a hand with any of this, then just let's connect. If we're not connected already on LinkedIn, drop me a connection message. Tell me that you've listened to this podcast, and I'd love to hear some of your feedback. Or there's some connection buttons over on the website, or alternatively, you can drop me an email at ian@innovate2success.com. So look, go and get your company values. Let's improve your culture. Let's improve your employee engagement. Let's improve your business performance. And I'd love to hear how it goes for you. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. All the best now. So thanks very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, then please remember to subscribe, rate and review. I'd really appreciate that. And also check the show notes out for all the latest developments at the IT Experts Growth Academy. If we haven't already, then let's connect on LinkedIn, YouTube and over at our website at innovate2success.com. Until next time, you look after yourself, and I'll catch up with you soon.